Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to do a video talking about cash and just my experience with most of this year. I would say about 10 months or almost 10 months using cash for everyday expenses and you doing that as far as cash envelopes go. So let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure you ask any questions down below. I would love to share conversation further about this with you all, and I hope that some of you guys are into this. All right, first thing that I've noticed is that it takes, I have my little notebook here, it takes more work to make sure you, what did I put? It takes more work to make sure I stick to my budget. Oh, I know why I put that on there. And the reason why I put that on there is not because like I had my budget, I've adjusted it when things needed to be adjusted, but because a lot of places you have like the cashless, not cashless, but you have the tellers, the self checkouts, and where I live in Georgia, Publix has the tellers now. I remember walking up to one of them, the automated tellers, one day, and I was getting ready to pay with cash, and it said card only. Some of them have moved to just those automated areas being card only, which defeats the purpose of me using cash. And at times I've had to either, my system for that is if I do have to use my bank card for something, then I will go deposit it, which is more work. But I've been trying to keep up with that because if I used it, I don't want to keep the cash because that cash was designated for whatever I bought it for, and I use my card. So that cash needs to be replaced on my card for that reason. You people out there that are, I'd say probably over 35, you guys remember writing in cursive in elementary school, I think. And I write with a mixture. Do you guys do the same thing? Like, let me know down below. Like, I write in manuscript, but I also do some words, some letters in cursive. So it's a mixture of menu-ursive. Sometimes I can't read what I wrote. Hey everybody, welcome to another video with Fashion Home Life by E. I make wig caps. I also make bamboo lined headbands, turbans. So make sure you check out my website if you're interested in any of these hair care accessories. And especially you guys that live in colder climates, make sure you cover up your hair, save it during the winter time, and get you a turban. Okay, next up, something else that I've noticed is that it is a lot of times things are more helpful with cash. For example, years ago, I remember avoiding cash at all costs, and I would keep an emergency, like larger bill with me just to make sure that if I need an emergency, systems are down or whatever, I had that. And I would forget about that amount because I would like stuff it somewhere where I wasn't seeing it regularly. And I kind of ended up moving away from that and not carrying hardly any cash, because like I said, when that was going on, I would use my cash and then I wouldn't remember what I used my money on. I'm like, I had $100, now I only have 40 left. What did I spend the 60 on? And going from that extreme to now this other extreme where I will pull my money out for my expenses, and I don't keep all that money with me. And so I have to mindfully think to myself, okay, I'm going to get a pedicure today. I go to that envelope that has the money for the pedicure, and then I take that money with me to get a pedicure, but I don't keep all that cash with me. So I have to remember to do that. But my point when I mentioned that it's more helpful is it helps me keep track, and I have money designated for certain things. And even though that's the same thing I had in the thought process of using my bank card, which you're probably thinking, well, why don't you use your bank card? Well, if all of the money, like for example, for the monthly expenses is $800, for example, and all of that money meant that's money for gas, that means that's money for groceries, that's money to get my hair done, and stuff like that. If I go over in one area, I'm pulling from another area. So at least I can see where I'm short, and I can decide whether I want to move money between needs to make sure that I have enough. I never have swiped my card, or this has maybe happened to me twice, but it hardly ever happened that I would swipe my card, there would be no money there. But it was just me getting a better handle of where my money was going, because I had a rough budget in my head, but this one helps me keep to that budget. If I said I was only going to have $150 for miscellaneous expenses for the house, then when that 150 is gone, it is gone, and then I make the decision on whether I want to pull money from somewhere else to go towards it, or I just wait till the next month to deal with whatever else is still there that I need to take care of. That's just kind of like an example of when I'm saying it helps me stick to my budget. And also, like I said, I'm pushing myself to, if I have to swipe my card, I'm going to the ATM to put that money back in. I have become more strict with using the money in that category. I definitely, sometimes I'm a little bit loose and sometimes I'm not, but segueing into this, like I already mentioned before, if the money is gone from that area, I make a decision on whether I'm going to pull from another area to make up for it. Because what I'm training my brain to do is, okay, well, that's what you budgeted. You got to your budget, or you use your budgeted amount. Do you want to go over? Is it worth you going over? Do you really want that shirt? Or if you want that shirt, where are you pulling the money from to buy it? So those are things that I try to practice, push myself towards I hope y'all can hear me, get used to, and what I've been getting used to and what I've noticed about myself with doing this cash envelope thing. Sometimes it is a hindrance. And also, when I was talking about my first point about the automated tellers, not automated tellers, what are they called? Self-checkout. I don't know why I can't get the words right, but anyway, for self-checkout. But for ordering online, I have definitely stuck to the grocery budget, which has been great. And that means I'm eating out less. But there are times where, like, for example, every Friday comes and I want to do several things. One, I want to take a nap because I'm mentally tired from the week between work, between life, between working on side things outside of my job that I'm trying to do to build extra streams of income, all of that. You're just tired. So I'm tired on Friday. I also wash my hair on Friday, so I'm dreading that. Also on Friday, I want to go out to eat and celebrate that it's the weekend. It's just like all of these big things are going on Friday, and it's so much. But sometimes I do, for whatever reason, I don't get stuff cooked because in time, or my husband hasn't cooked anything, whatever. I'm tired of whatever I made, anything like that, and impulsively will decide to eat out. Well, a lot of times places, for convenience, you want to order online. I used to some places have still stuck with the whole pandemic thing, and you cannot place an order over the phone. You have to order online. And when that happens, I'm not putting my bank card online. I have to use a credit card to pay for it. And then I need to make sure, okay, let me take this money that I use, put it to the side so I can put it on the credit card, because that was like the money that came from my groceries. I said, I'm going to eat out now. Take that money, put it over here. And that's an inconvenience at times, and just something to be mindful of. I think what I am going to try to do, because when I'm doing something like that, where I say, okay, let's go get pizza, let's go eat out, and if it's my turn, I'm paying for something, then I want to find a better system for that. And I think I do have a bank card that I hardly keep any money in, and so I think maybe I'm going to use that one for just putting money on it every so often, transferring money into that account. That way, if I do make a purchase either online, or I do buy food online, do like that, then that money's already in there for that. That way, if the card gets hacked, they would be sad, because there'll be hardly enough to cover whatever they're trying to have a shopping spree for. But there are protections, so I know I would get my money back, but it's not like them hacking into my main bank account where the money for the bills come out of, type of a situation. So I think I might do something like that. I've been thinking about that recently, and that's what I'm leaning towards, because like I said, it's a hassle sometimes I'll do it, but other times I'll try to figure out, okay, how can I do this order? Maybe I'm just willing to sit there for 20 minutes so I can pay you in cash. for my food. But those are the things that definitely stuck out to me and that I noticed and that I am still working my way through. Let me know what questions you have. Throw comments down below, especially for you guys that do also do cash envelopes too. I want to know how long you've been doing it and some of the things that I talked about. Do these relate to you? Are there other systems that you have started to implement, adopting this whole cash envelope thing for a longer period of time maybe than I have, or a shorter period of time and you just thought something, a new system. All right, thank you so much for talking with me. Bye.